Hey, my name is Jay Worth. I'm the visual effects supervisor on Westworld.
What was it like stepping into this world of Westworld, especially coming on the heels of the role that visual effects played in Game of Thrones, HBO understanding visual effects, Jonah and Lisa obviously understanding it, having that tapestry to play with?
You know, it was a huge honor. It was a little bit of a weight. It was a little bit of a, no pressure here, kid. But, you know, because of my relationship with Jonah and Lisa and Bad Robot, it felt like a natural fit. And, you know, we attack things a little differently. It's funny, we don't, as we say, we don't have Game of Thrones money. But, you know, the work that they do really did push the bar to such a high level for everybody in a really great way that really required all of us to continue to evaluate what we were doing. I think the funny thing is that I think everybody was already doing that level of work, but it really opened up the eyes of the rest of the world to say, no, look at all the cool work that's being done in television, you know? So I think it opened up the rest of the world and the rest of the studios and the rest of the different people out there that it'd be interesting for me to look at what shows, not really Westworld, because I think Westworld would have been greenlit anyway, but what shows might not have been greenlit if it hadn't been for a show like Game of Thrones. You know, I don't know if an Altered Carbon or if a Lost in Space or if these shows might have not gone if it hadn't been for something like Game of Thrones blazing the trail for all of us. You know, and really setting the bar at such a high level and in such a really powerful way, and how VFX can be used as this amazing tool. It really did set the bar really high for all of us. So it was daunting. It was scary, but it was also still because I had worked with Jonah and Lisa for so long, because I worked with Bad Robot for so long. I knew that my voice and my perspective was the one that was needed for that show. I knew that there was a comfort level, there was a understanding, there was a shorthand of what this world should look like visually. That, you know, while it was scary, I still knew that me and the team were up for the task. So it was a super fun challenge to be able to run with.
One of the things that both Jonah and Lisa have said whenever people ask them about it is that the video game Red Dead Redemption served as a backdrop or as inspiration in some ways. And I was wondering if they discussed that with you, or if you even ever looked at the game as inspiration.
Yeah, we definitely talked about it a lot. We looked at keyframes, we talked about story elements, we talked about scenarios. We had all of those discussions at the very beginning of the project, which really did inform a lot of those decisions early on. I'm really excited to see what happens with the next game coming out. I'm actually honestly interested to see what sort of things I might see cribbed from Westworld in the new game, going, hey, let's have a little back and forth conversation here. So I mean, I'm excited to see what's going to happen with that, and to see what new things have been brought into that, and what we might then be able to bring into future seasons of Westworld.
Yeah, and we already have a Westworld video game, but it's only mobile right now. So I would think that there's potential, especially as you guys are exploring other worlds, for this to be a video game at some point as well.
Oh, completely. I mean, you know, I think it's funny. It's like it's a world that they've created that, of course, people want to live in. So why wouldn't that be, you know, a video game that someone wants to live in? So yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with that.
Can you talk about some of the challenges with bringing this world to life, and also did those challenges get a little bit easier as you went from season 1 to season 2?
Yes and no. The nice thing was we had done so much thinking, so much discussing, so much talking about all the design elements in season 1. So we were able to take all that history and build it onto season 2. But the funny thing about season 2 is it was all new. We had pearls, and we had world building, and we had husks, and we had you know, Ghost Nation, and we had we had fissures in the universe going to the sublime, and we had all these things that we had never seen before in season 1. So we were definitely able to see the design elements carried over. We didn't have to figure out what a terraformer looked like, or what a host looked like from a flashback, or things like that. But I think it was more the fact that we were able to soak and live in the world for so long. We had been living there as a team for so long. It made it a lot easier to be able to point at things and go, that's not our show, or that is our show. And working with Howard and all the different departments, You know, even seeing things like what Justin and his team did with the drone hosts. It was pretty obvious early on. I was like, yep, that's it. That's our show. You know, that looks like what Westworld should be. So that was a lot of fun, just kind of being able to build on the layer cake of what Westworld should be visually.
We've seen across films like Blade Runner and Star Wars bringing characters back or bringing characters, making them younger. What was it like to do that with Anthony Hopkins?
It was terrifying. It was terrifying to try and bring Anthony Hopkins to life as a 30, 40-year-old younger man. Also just because there's such scrutiny when it comes to a CG character like that. Everybody's looking at it going, we know this isn't real. What are we gonna see? What are we gonna feel? So yeah, we were scared, to be honest, but it was exciting and exhilarating and everything else. And I'm really proud of what we were able to pull off in season 1 with that. And we used it in season 2 also. You know, he's a little lesser, reflection elements and whatnot. He actually talks in season 2, which was fun. But it was a challenge. There was that whole with television. We don't have as much time. We don't have as much money. How are we going to be able to pull this off? But it was a lot of fun. It was the first, CG character like I've been able to do like that, and I'm really proud of the work we were able to do without me and be able to pull that out.
Is performance capture part of what you guys were able to do?
For us on that one, that was all, we basically used some of the performance that the actor had just for basic facial expressions. He didn't do a whole lot, to be honest, in ours. So we were using that as reference, but it was really mostly just modeling and then figuring out what he should look like. More than the performance, since the performance was kind of minimal. But we did, obviously use it, but it wasn't really part of the pipeline per se that we were utilizing.